Welcome to science class with Miss Patience, my amazing scientist. So today we are going to be having a fun and interesting science class. So I hope you're ready. Okay. So today we will be talking about pulleys and inclined planes. Pulleys and inclined planes. Remember we talked about types of simple machines in our last class, where I listed six simple machines. Can we mention them together? Great. So we have the screw, the lever, inclined planes, pulleys, wedge, wheel, and axle. Great. So today we will focus on pulleys and inclined planes. And we will look at meaning of pulleys, types and examples of pulleys, uses of pulleys, meaning of inclined plane, types and examples of inclined plane, and lastly, we'll look at advantages of inclined plane. Why don't you grab your writing materials and let's begin. What are pulley, or what is a pulley? Pulley is a wheel made of wood or metal, having a groove with a rope or chain passing through the groove. So, a pulley is a wheel made of wood or metal, and it will always have a groove so that a chain can pass through it. You can see the arrow there pointing to the groove, so that is the groove. It's a depression on a metal bar or wood for the rope or chain to be able to pass through. So that is what a pulley is. And it makes work easier. It makes lifting heavy objects easier. Now, there are various examples of pulleys, like the crane. So this crane is used in, let's say, construction sites. So lifting up heavy objects in the construction site, where building is happening and all that. So the crane is used to lift heavy objects. Now, and it uses a pulley system. So you can see that. We have the window blinds. We have window blinds in our houses, in our homes, in our schools. So you can see that there's also a pulley that is used to close or open the window blind. We have the elevator, okay, and an interesting one is the water well. So you can see how the pulley is connected to the bucket that is used to fetch water. So the person fetching water drags the rope on one end, and then the load comes up, which is the bucket of water, and it's through pulley that this is done. Okay. And we have flag pole. You don't just climb a pole and put a flag on it. You use the pulley to flag a pole. Okay, so that's an example of pulleys. You can find more examples too. So let's talk about types of pulley. So we have three types: the fixed pulley, the fixed pulley is also a movable pulley, and then we have the movable pulley, and finally the compound pulley. Now, the fixed pulley is a type of pulley that is attached to a strong wood or metal bar, and the rope or chain passes through it. So in a fixed pulley, the metal bar is not moving. The metal bar that the rope is passed through is not moving. It's just stuck, is fixed, so it's not moving. Okay, that's all. That's about fixed pulley. An example is the flag pole. So you see that when you're using a pulley to flag a pole, you see that the metal bar is not moving, it's just the ropes that are moving, so it's actually fixed. And then we have movable pulley. So this type of pulley, it moves freely up and down. Okay, it moves freely up and down, and it has a rope that still passes through it. Example is the crane. Okay, the crane and elevators. Okay, so you can see that in movable pulley, it's the metal by itself moves up and down. Okay, now we also have compound pulley. Now one thing about compound pulley is that it combines both the fixed pulley and the movable pulley to form a pulley system. So it combines both the fixed pulley, that is the one that is not moving, and the movable pulley. Okay, that's all about compound pulley. Now let's talk about uses of pulley. Pulley helps in lifting heavy things, which is the main purpose of all simple machine, to lift heavy things. Okay, and also it is used in grinding machine. If you can locate a grinding machine and you see the parts, you see that there's actually a pulley system there. Also, it is the component of sewing machine. Okay, it's part of the sewing machine, and it is used to drawing curtains in theaters. Okay, where in theaters, basically, like let's say there is a play or a presentation in theaters, when they close the curtain, it's actually being done using a pulley. Okay, now pulley is also used in raising flag, like we have explained. Okay, so these are the various types of various uses of pulley, and I would like you to watch the next video to have a better understanding of what pulleys are. Enjoy. Okay, welcome back. That was an interesting video, and I know you know better what pulley is. So why don't we now talk about inclined planes? So inclined planes is a simple machine that helps move heavy objects up a slope with less effort. Okay, so inclined plane is like a slopey surface that will help you either move objects down or up, makes it easier for you. It makes it easier because you apply less effort. Okay, now types of inclined plane. We have the gentle or low inclined plane. This is kind of inclined plane that is actually easy to climb. Okay, it's not that hard. It's actually very easy to climb. So it's called the gentle or low inclined plane. And then we have the steep or high inclined plane. this one is difficult to climb. They both make work easier, but the steep or high inclined plane is more difficult to climb than the gentle or low inclined plane. Okay, so now let's talk about examples of the inclined plane. Okay, the first one here is the skateboard ramp. Okay, the skateboard ramp. We have the slide. You can see how the slopey surface that we're talking about. So that's an inclined plane. And we have the roof. The roof is also an example of the inclined plane. And there is an interesting example here, which is the funnel. So if you want to turn water into a can, doing it just directly will make your work harder and slower. So what is the usefulness of simple machine if not to make the work easier and faster, which is why you use the funnel. So the funnel is an example of inclined plane, and it will easily channel the water into the can. Okay, so the funnel is an example of inclined plane. Another interesting one is loading the truck. So in loading the truck, you need an inclined plane to make your work easier. As you can see in the diagram, the man is pushing the load into the truck using an inclined plane. It's way faster and easier than to be taking up heavy load that you probably cannot carry and might hurt yourself. Okay, so those are the examples of inclined plane. Now, advantages of inclined plane. So the first one is for climbing steep surfaces. Steep surfaces means high surfaces. So the inclined plane will help you climb high surfaces with less stress or less effort. Okay, so for rolling heavy object into a lorry, just like we explained just now, it's easier to use inclined plane to load your lorry. Now for entering or coming down from the aircraft, you need inclined plane. You see that when you are coming down from the airplane or when you are climbing, you see they'll bring some kind of inclined plane like a staircase for you to be able to come down. And if someone was in a wheelchair, you see that it will be a slopey and smooth inclined plane for the person to be able to calm down easily. So it makes everything easy and faster. Then it helps to move to higher height, and it also reduces stress of climbing. So a slopey surface will reduce the stress of climbing. So you use less effort in climbing through. Why don't you watch the next video to have a better understanding of inclined planes?
An inclined plane is simply an even sloping surface, with no moving parts. It makes it easier for us to move objects to higher or lower surfaces than if we lifted the objects directly upwards. It is believed that ancient Egyptians used inclined planes to carry heavy stones to build pyramids. If the slope is gentle, a person has to push or pull the object over a longer distance, but with very little effort. If the slope is steep, a person has to push or pull the object over a very short distance, but with more effort. Examples of inclined planes are slides and ramps.
Alright, that was an interesting class. Remember we talked about pulleys? What are pulleys? Good. Okay, and we gave examples. Can you list 2 examples? Oh, brilliant. And we also talked about inclined planes, okay, a slopey surface. Quickly give 2 examples of an inclined plane. Good, the slide, and oh, great, the funnel. Okay, it's nice to have an interesting science class once again. I'll see you in the next class. Thank you for watching. Bye.